Welcome to the chapter Globe, a model of the Earth.
This slide presents the overview of the chapter. Learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to
Understand globe as the model of Earth. Know the shape of the Earth. Identify the oceans and continents. Locate the directions. Learn about latitudes and longitudes.
Introduction.
We usually know the Earth is round in shape. We find different things on the Earth, and there are many living beings on the Earth. The globe resembles the shape of the Earth. We have many things to learn about Earth. Earth has many ideal features and gravitational power. It is unique in our solar system. Do you know? The globe, which is like Earth, had some lines, and we find some markings with names on it. The names and the markings shown on the globe are similar to that of our Earth. The things which we cannot see and which we do not know can be found on the globe. Let us know. What is it we can learn from the globe, which is in some way similar to the Earth? What do we find on this Earth? Let us start our learning with the Earth is like a ball. The Earth looks like blue moon. It is because a major part of the Earth is covered with water found in oceans. In the displayed image, you can see that only half of the Earth is receiving sunlight. The Earth has a spherical shape. In spite of being spherical in shape, it never allows us to fall off the Earth. This is only because of the Earth's gravitational force. Spheroid shape. People think that the Earth is perfectly round in shape, but it is not. The actual shape of the Earth is spheroidal. The reason behind it is that it is compressed at the poles, and at the equator it bulges out a little bit. This minute difference cannot be observed in the globe or a map. Take a point on the globe. If you start at that particular point and revolve the globe, you will reach the same point. In the same manner, when you start at a particular place on the Earth, once again you will reach the same place without turning back. People of ancient times had a different notion. They believed that the Earth was flat, and after continuously traveling, they felt that they will fall down at the end point, but it is never ending. We cannot find any end point on the Earth. When we are on the Earth, we travel from one place to another. We never fall off the Earth, but we may fall on the Earth. But the fact is that we will never fall off the Earth because the Earth has a magnetic power which pulls us towards it. Around 1400 AD, scientists and seamen believed that the shape of the Earth was like a ball. According to Columbus, the diameter of the Earth was smaller, and that Asia could be easily reached by sailing west across the Atlantic. So he started his voyage from Europe in 1485 AD in the western direction to reach India. But he stopped at the Caribbean islands near America. Columbus wanted to establish the fact that the Earth is round in shape, but he could not move further due to shortage of food and fresh water. Now, let us look into the topic oceans and continents. If we observe the globe, the surface of the Earth mostly consists of water, and it is in the form of oceans. Ocean is a large expanse of salt water. Sea is a part of the ocean surrounded by land on all or most sides. Continents refer to mainland excluding islands. Ocean covers 70.8% of the Earth's surface, out of which 96% is salt water. Ocean is divided into 4 or 5 large sections. Ocean forms an important phase for human trade, for traveling, mineral extraction, and power generation. The ocean water is salty. Oceans occupy hundreds and thousands of kilometers. There is no end for the water. One can travel from one end of the water to the other end by taking the help of ships, and it may take more days or sometimes even months to reach the destinations. The 5 oceans are Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic or Southern Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is frozen into ice. Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and the Atlantic Oceans are the 4 greatest oceans. Pacific Ocean is the largest of all the oceans. We have many benefits of oceans, but we cannot live on them. We can live on land, and continents are the large masses on the globe. Area-wise, the land masses are concentrated more in the northern hemisphere than in the southern hemisphere. We have 7 major continents. There are basically 7 continents. They are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Australia. Out of these 7 continents, Antarctica is covered with a sheet of ice. India is located in the Asian continent. Antarctica and Australia are separated from the other continents. The 2 poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, are covered with ice. Out of the 2 poles, one pole has a frozen ocean and the other has huge accumulation of ice on it. This we call as the Antarctic shield of ice. Usually, we find the villages, towns and cities located on the continents. We find hills, valleys, cultivating lands, mines, factories, etc. on the land. Apart from this, we also find different living beings existing on them.
Knowledge.
Now let us know about the directions on the globe. In the previous chapters, we have learnt about the 4 directions, and you also know how to locate the North and the South Pole. If a person is facing the east, then his left side will be north and right side will be south. We find the earth rotating from the west to the east every day. In the displayed image, see that at the opposite ends, there are 2 points called poles. If you draw an imaginary line passing through the interior of the earth connecting the 2 poles, an axis will be formed in which the earth rotates. We find poles, which are the points that always lie at the end of the axis of rotation. To understand the axis of rotation better, use a globe and put 3 to 4 dots on the globe by using different colors starting from the equator to the poles. After doing this, rotate the globe and observe what happens. The point which is kept on the poles remain there, but the point kept on the equator will move. Now let us see the next part, lines on the globe. Observe the lines on the globe. They run in different directions from north to south and west to east. These lines help in locating different places. Now, let us look at the most important lines, latitudes and longitudes, which are found on the globe. Latitudes. Latitude can be referred to as the lines which run parallel to the equator and are also called parallels. The distance between them is approximately 111 kilometers. If you observe clearly, the longest line on the globe is called the equator. Latitude is an angle which ranges from 0 degrees at the equator to 90 degrees north or south at the poles. It divides the globe into 2 halves, and we call these 2 halves as hemispheres. As we move from the equator to the poles, it becomes smaller. Latitude will be 90 degrees at the poles. 90 degrees north will be called North Pole and 90 degrees south will be called South Pole. The latitudes are measured in degrees, minutes and seconds. Degree 111 kilometers, minute 1.85 kilometers and second 30 meters. Longitudes. The vertical lines that run from north to south around the planet are called longitudes. They are also known as meridians. They are of the same length. They separate the Earth into east and west hemispheres. They converge at the poles. They are wider at the equator with a distance of 111 kilometers apart. They are 180 degrees in each hemisphere. When you observe the lines, they run from one pole to the other. All the lines appear to be of the same length, unlike the latitudes. There are two main longitudes. One of them is the Greenwich line, also called 0-degree longitude, and the other one is in the International Dateline IDL, also called 180 degrees east or west longitude. Latitudes and longitudes together cover the map and create a net and help us in locating places. If you are able to find the latitude and longitude of a place, it will be very easy for you to locate it on the globe or map.
Knowledge check.
We will now perform an activity on the hemispheres of the Earth. Observe the following pictures and fill the boxes by dragging and dropping the names of the shaded hemispheres. Now, let us perform an activity of identifying the continents and oceans. Fill up this empty map of the world by dragging and dropping the names of the continents and oceans. Let us do an activity on match the following. Select a suitable answer from Group B for Group A and drop it in the bracket provided against A.
Keywords. List of keywords are shown on the screen. Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this chapter.
The Earth looks like a blue moon. It is because a major part of the Earth is covered with water found in oceans. In spite of being spherical in shape, it never allows us to fall off the Earth. This is only because of the Earth's gravitational force. People think that the Earth is perfectly round in shape, but it is not. The actual shape of the Earth is spheroidal. Take a point on the globe. If you start at that particular point and revolve the globe, you will reach the same point. Ocean is a large expanse of salt water. It covers 70.8% of the Earth's surface, out of which 96% is salt water. The two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole of the Earth, are covered with ice. If a person is facing the east, then his left side will be north and his right side will be south. Latitude can be referred to as the lines which run parallel to the equator and are also called parallels. The vertical lines that run from north to south around the planet are called longitudes. They are also known as meridians. They are of same length. There are two main longitudes. One of them is Greenwich line, also called 0-degree longitude, and the other one is International Dateline IDL, also called 180 degrees east or west longitude.
Read the question. Follow-up work.
Put 3 or 4 dots on the globe in different colors, starting from the equator to the pole. Rotate the globe and observe what happens. Draw the latitude and longitudes on the surface of a ball. Collect information about explorers like Columbus.
Test your...
You have successfully completed the chapter Globe, a Model of the Earth.